Welcome to HeadKick Audio, best of 2019. That's how we're going to start the fucking thing.
Whoop, whoop.
So, Happy New Year. It's 2020 for us here over at HeadKick Audio, and I'm saying us because look at who we has. We has the MMA white belt. Está aquí.
I'm right here, live and semi in your face.
Semi in your ear as well, because we are going to be posting this on the tube and the bean.
The tube bean, huh?
Yeah, we're going all out on this guy. So what we are going to give you is our edition of the best of 2019 for us over here at HeadKick Audio. So what we have, excuse me, is we're going to do the fighter of the year for HeadKick Audio, and then we're going to go ahead and do fight of the year, submission of the year, KO of the year. And then we're going to go through our top 5 interviews. Okay, top 5 interviews for 2019. Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot to cipher through from.
Yeah, we've got a lot. And then also we're going to be putting out, on the social medias, we're going to be putting out more lists. Because you have the top 5 best interviews that we had for whatever reason. But then we went it a step further because we had so many interviews. We went ahead and broke it down. Bellator, UFC, LFA, yada yada. So we're gonna go ahead and get things started with that right there.
Man, there's like, I can't believe like there's just so much shit that we did.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
It's fucking crazy, dude. Like a lot of the things that happened, dude, I probably would have never done like if I wasn't like here.
Well, we covered some live events. We covered LFA, we covered Rough, we covered WFF. So some local, well, they were all local for us because they were all in Arizona, but some local promotions and some regional shows in LFA. And it was a blast. We went from small venues like the Van Buren, which was really fucking cool. We were like cage side for those fights. That was awesome. And then we went to big casinos, so like the Twin Arrows for Rough, and then the Comerica Theater for LFA. So a different look for every promotion and every venue. Shit, I think we even did the Arizona State Fair.
Yeah, we did. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, we did like 3 events or 4 events in the span of like 8 or 9 days or some shit like that.
Yeah.
So we had a lot of fun shit for 2019. So we're gonna go ahead and give you our year in review. There is too many fighters to thank. There really is. I have a list. And I could literally go through that entire fucking list if I wanted to.
It's because he makes lists.
I'm a list kind of guy.
He's a lister.
Oh, I'm a lister. Okay, so let's just go ahead and get started with HeadKick Audio's fight of the year. Okay, and now the fight of the year came late, okay, for me. It was just a couple weeks ago, as a matter of fact. And I'm referencing the welterweight title fight between former interim champion Colby Covington and reigning, and also he defended, so defending champion Kamaru Usman. There was a huge rivalry between these two, a lot of shit talking going back and forth, and the fight exceeded expectations. There was not one fucking takedown in this fight. Both guys are really good wrestlers. They're better ground fighters than they are strikers, if we're being honest here. And that's what we got. We got a stand-up affair for almost 5 entire rounds. Kamaru gets the TKO late in the 5th round. I believe it was like, what, 4-10?
Yeah.
4-10 in the 5th round.
Yeah.
Fight of the night, for sure, UFC 245?
Yep.
Okay, and where did this fight take place at? I think it was December 14th?
December 14th at the T-Mobile Arena, where we kind of got lost at while we were in Vegas covering the PFL.
Right. Oh yeah, I forgot the fucking PFL. That's right. We were, where was that, the MGM? No, Mandalay Bay.
Mandalay Bay. Yeah.
Mandalay Bay. That's right. So we actually ventured outside of our local area to cover some PFL, which they just, real quick, I'll go ahead and go over results since I'm not going to do a show for it. They just crowned 6 champions. Kayla Harrison, the lightweight women's title, the first women's lightweight title tournament winner ever in a major organization. So congratulations to Kayla Harrison.
Well deserved.
Ray Cooper Man, that was bittersweet because David Machado, he's he fights out of Arizona, so we got him right here. But Cooper, man, those body shots.
We have him here. Cooper had him here.
Yeah,
or
right?
here, wherever the
And then you had Ali Isaev defeat Jared Roshaw to claim the heavyweight title. Natan, what's his name? Schultz. I hope I'm saying that right. Natan Schultz and Lance Palmer, returning champions from last year, both getting it done. So multi-millionaires, 2-time division champs. So congratulations to those dudes. What was the other title?
I think that was all.
No, your boy Sordy. Emiliano
That's right,
Sordy
yeah.
getting it done over another hometown guy. Jordan Johnson fighting out of Phoenix, Arizona. Couldn't get it done. And then Brendan Loughnane.
Yep, the opener.
Or Loughnane.
Loughnane.
However O'Connell was saying it.
Yeah.
However he was saying it. So 6 new champions. Harrison, Palmer, Schultz, Isaev, Kupa, and Sordy. So yeah, 6 champions and then Loughnane. So
almost said Sanchin because I couldn't. Yeah, I'm back, baby.
the white belt is back in full effect
with my punches and stuff that they do in the fights.
Okay, so December 14th, 2019, at the T-Mobile Arena, Kamaru Usman and Colby Covington go to war. Like I said, all stand up. There was probably some more history in this fight because both guys were very heavy with the numbers in strikes. Both guys, they're an accumulation, accumulative fighters. Rather than throwing power, they throw quantity, right? So that for me is fight of the year for sure. One of the best fights I've ever seen. And I really think it's that signature win. Like his win against Tyron Woodley, it was dominant, right? But it wasn't really like signature. If there's something that's really going to give Kamaru, like take him to that next level for his fans and his career, I think this win over Colby Covington definitely does it for him.
Oh, definitely.
Okay, KO of the year. I think this one is a fucking no-brainer.
No-brainer.
This one's a no-brainer. It took all of, I don't know what, 5 seconds?
Took 5 seconds to figure this out.
Yeah, so it's pretty simple. We're going to go with Jorge Masvidal getting the flying knee KO over your boy Ben Funky Askren, who took it like a champ.
He did.
He lost his next fight after that and then eventually retired. But this was Ben Askren coming in undefeated at 19-0-1, a champion in other major organizations, ONE FC and Bellator. Okay, this guy was also in the first major trade for the UFC. He was traded with ONE. Okay, so ONE sent him over to the UFC, and UFC sent over Demetrius Johnson, which I still think UFC got the raw end of that deal. Ben Askren fights, 3 times and then retires? I mean, that kind of sucks. I mean, he probably made more money for the company than Mighty Mouse did, but Mighty Mouse is just one of the greatest of all times, really, if I'm going to be honest. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about Askren. We're talking about game rate. We're talking about, we're talking about Masvidal, BMF champ. He's a bad motherfucker. He's a bad motherfucker.
BMF?
Right. So 5 seconds and give me the details on this one. Let me smell the aromas and relive the event.
Oh, well, you get the introductions, everyone comes out, yada yada. And then, are you ready? You ready? Ding! Boom! Done.
Right?
Come out, flying knee. I think everybody was expecting Askren to go for that takedown right away.
Especially Masvidal.
Yeah,
especially Masvidal.
Like, there's no way that you can start off the fight with the flying knee unless you've actually timed it and practiced it in camp, which I believe he did.
He did, and he posted about it. But he comes up to Askren right after the fighters are, agreed that they're ready via Jason Herzog, the best referee in the fucking business. Fight me if you disagree, because I don't give a fuck. You can fight me, I don't care. But Herzog, now if Herzog had been closer, this is a 3-second fight. Yeah, Herzog was all the way on the other side of the cage and couldn't get to them fast enough. Okay, because as soon as that knee connected, Askren's falling over, and then I've seen fighters like stiff like this. He went stiff like this.
Yeah.
It was crazy. And then there were some follow-up punches that were completely unnecessary.
Yeah.
But heat of the moment, also got to make sure that you're putting a stamp on it. You want to make sure Askren don't get up. Now look, Askren is known for his granite chin. Okay, it's one of the reasons why he was so successful, being the type of funky fighter that he was with his, wrestling and whatnot. I've seen him take fucking knees. I've seen him take like some nasty strikes and survive. So, where did this happen?
This also happened at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas.
Okay.
And that actually took place on July 6th.
Okay, and what was the event? Did I give you the event?
No.
Oh, bad, Steve.
I believe that would have been
UFC 239, maybe. It was John Jones Santos. So even without the motherfucking info, I got that shit. I'm getting pretty good at this remembering thing. You better watch out.
New year, new you, right?
Yeah. Oh shit! I'm already out of coffee. Bitch. All right. So that's the KO of the year. We've talked about it probably 100 times longer than the fight actually was.
Oh yeah, definitely.
For sure. So let's go ahead and go with submission of the year for HeadKick Audio. I'm gonna go with Arkansas.
That was such a fucking sweet submission.
Okay, now we were putting up these lights when this happened because I remember my buddy Liam. He came over. We was drinking Lagunitas, I believe, was what the payment was, and we're putting the lights up and we're taking a break, and I'm in my hallway over here drinking a beer, and I just see him. I'm like, oh my god, he's setting up the twister. And they're just looking at me like, what the fuck is a twister? You know what I mean? And then he fucking gets it, and I'm like, oh no, he's gonna tap, and then he taps, because you can't fucking get out of that shit, and it's painful. If you've ever been put in a twister, or, been in a real one, they're painful. I mean, the submission, the, natural disaster.
Yeah, national disaster.
Which it's also a national disaster.
Close.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So I think we're on the right track, but I think the post-fight speech, and then, all of the Bryce Mitchell Thug Nasty, at Thug Nasty on the social media, like, he just kept going with it. His favorite movie, Twister. Favorite board game, Twister. He was just great. And then fucking calling Reebok out for the camo shorts. I believe he got another company to get them, because Reebok, you fucking fucked up. Reebok fucked up and did not get this boy his camo shorts. I thought the Reebok and the UFC should have just been like, you know what? Give this guy some fucking camo shorts. They fucked up. So they got another company to do that. But I think everything that he did around this twister, which is extremely rare in mixed martial arts, especially at this level, the UFC, I mean, this is the pinnacle of the sport, and he gets it done. I just think everything surrounding it, you gotta give it to the guy. Even if you don't think it was the best submission of the year, which, I mean, come on, it really was. I think the only thing that you can knock about it was the level of competition, right? Matt Sales, not a world beater yet. Who knows what 2020 and the future holds for that guy. But really, it's, name value, right? Masvidal's KO over Askren, that was huge because those are two big names in the fucking sport. You know what I mean? But Bryce Mitchell, Doug Nasty over Matt Sales, not really two names. I think going into 2020 though, I think Bryce Mitchell could be your breakthrough star of that year. But definitely got to give it to him there. It's a rare submission, and then all the post-fight crap that he added onto it just made it that much better for me. So I think we're gonna go there, and then that's it, right?
Yeah, that's it. And that fight took place on December 7th at the Capital One Arena in Washington, D.C.
Okay, so that was part of UFC DC. So that was two of these fights in December. So that's what we're gonna roll with. Is December heavy, and then I want to go ahead and add. This isn't in our list or whatever, but I want to kind of add like a breakthrough fighter of the year, at least for me. I'm gonna go Rosenstruck.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go Rosenstruck. This dude took a fight on short notice, and he had just fought. I believe he knocked out Andre Arlovsky, and then the thing with Walt Harris and Anaya Blanchard, that whole thing happened. So Walt Harris had to step away. Anaya Blanchard, rest in peace. We're gonna go ahead and just leave that there, and so Rosenstruck stepped up on short notice to fight Alistair Overeem, which is a big ask.
Yeah,
that's a big step up in competition. Now I get it. He fought Arlovsky, who in his own right, a former champion, but let's just be honest, Arlovsky and Overeem, both on the tail ends of their careers, but just record-wise, that's a big step up. Arlovsky, probably top 15, top 20. Alistair, top 10 for sure.
Definitely.
And he was seconds away from losing the fight. He was seconds away from losing that fight, and he actually won via walk-off KO. Threw the punch, busted up Overeem's lip. You remember that shit?
Oh, yeah.
It looked like somebody just you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't even know how to describe it.
Looking like Predator when he took his mask off. It was like,
oh God. So that for me, Jairzinho, that's Biggie Boy is his nickname.
Oh, dude, you can hear that. That is.
I hope that comes
nice.
through on the audio because that felt really good.
That is gonna be really nice in the audio.
Okay, so check this out. His 2019 went a little something like this. He went 4-0. Okay. Oh Jesus Christ. He went 4-0. He got a knockout over Junior Albini. That's the guy who came in with the diaper in his first fight. And then he got a knockout over Alan Crowder, the guy who got the DQ win over what's his name? Hardy.
Oh, Hardy.
Okay. And then he got the knockout over Andre Arlovsky, and then the knockout over Alistair Overeem. I think in total you are looking at 6.5 minutes he spent in the cage over 4 fights. If he's not your fucking breakthrough fighter of the year, 2019, I don't know who is. 4 fights, 4 KOs, and if you just look at the level of competition, they just get better and better. You know what I mean? Alan Crowder, I don't even really know what the fuck he's
If you look at the times, they're all under a minute except for the Overeem.
Well, that's what I'm saying. 6.5 minutes.
Holy shit! To get out there and be like, boop. All right, next one. I mean, that's probably why you could fight so much.
Right?
If you're in the octagon for under a minute and you're fucking killing dudes,
right? That's what I'm saying. So it wasn't on our list, but Biggie Boy definitely he deserves to be in this, on this video in one way, shape, or form.
Definitely.
So I'm definitely going to give him that. The dude is 10-0. Let's see. He's got 1 decision on his record. Everything else is a knockout. And the decision was a split at Ryzen 10, according to Wikipedia, okay? And that was Andrei Kovalev. So, yeah, all the other ones, knockout.
I think he really likes punching people in the face, so.
I think it is safe to say. But if you look at this right here, so he fought twice and then took a 5-year layoff. And then fought twice for 2017, fought twice for 2018. I really think he was just like, nah, let's just get this done. You know what I mean? Once he got to the UFC, he's like, the fastest way to get to a title shot, and the motherfucker called out Ngannou, and he's going to fight him in March. Ooh, bro. I am telling you, Rosenstruck, that's my guy. That's my guy, okay? That's my fucking guy. I don't care what you say about him. He'd fucking kill you anyway. So now let's move on to our top 5 interviews of 2019, and we had so many interviews to choose from. It was ridiculous. I think we probably did over 100 interviews through 2019, and we didn't even start until fucking April.
Yeah.
I think our first show was April of 2019, somewhere in there. I'll probably put the date somewhere up here. But our top 5 Some of them, it doesn't really matter the promotion for our top 5 interviews of all time for 2019. We just went with the ones that, were the best. So let's go ahead and start with number 5. Number 5 is going to be Bryce Logan. Now, why is Bryce Logan number 5 on our list?
Bryce Logan was our very first Skype interview.
Very first?
Very first.
Numero
uno in Skype.
Okay, so Bryce Logan, he fought at LFA, the number escapes me, okay? The number escapes me. I'll put the information up here again. And he picked up the win. It was a tough decision win, but he got the win nonetheless. And the dude was just, responsive. Let's just put it that way. And a lot of the fighters that we interviewed, like I've kept in contact with most of them, and the ones I haven't kept in contact with are ones that never got back to me, which is fine. I get it. Fighters are busy. They're allowed to have busy lives. Like this motherfucker dragging by with this fucking system, asshole. But yeah, Bryce Logan, number 5, and really, it was a good interview, but he's getting mad props because he was the first Skype interview. That was a big turning point for our show. Before, everything was just on audio, so you had to listen to the interview. Now you get to see these motherfuckers. And us. I'm sorry about that. I'm very sorry about that.
Very sorry. Sorry about it. Especially me.
But yeah, so Bryce Logan makes number 5 on the list. Number 4, who do we got?
Number 4, we have Brianna the Bull Van Buren.
Woo! Okay, now check this out. We caught her right in between her tournament and then title win over at Invicta, the Phoenix Rising. Okay, and right after that, she interviewed with us, and then bam, she's in the UFC. It's like, if you win a title from a smaller organization, and then you talk to us, you're going to the UFC. I mean, I just don't know. If you turn us down, you're probably getting knocked out.
Yep.
I'm not going to name any names, but fighters turn us down, and then immediately, their next fight, they get KO'd. So I'm just going to put that out there, okay? But she interviewed with us. It was a fucking awesome interview. She was very open about a lot of stuff. And one of the very few female interviews that we get. Okay, it's very difficult for us to get female guests. I don't understand why. You know what I mean? I don't understand why. I don't creep.
Maybe it's me. Maybe it's the big, burly, scary beard.
It could be. Maybe you just scare them all away. I don't fucking know. But BVB, she's in the UFC now and also undefeated. She recently had to pull out of a fight with Hannah Cyphers, I believe. Which that would have been a fucking barn burner. So I believe I don't know if she was sick or some type of injury. Hopefully she's okay and returns to the cage as soon as possible. If the Tiny Tornado can pick up a win in her next fight, I would still like to see that fight. Okay, but Brianna, number 4 on our list. Okay, who is numero 3?
Number 3. I wish I would have been a part of this, but I was not. JP St. Louis.
Okay, now too much was definitely not too much in this interview. As a matter of fact, me and him, we bullshitted for about like 40 minutes, and it was great. We kept it kind of like, you got the regular interview questions, right? Which hopefully we get a little bit better with that in 2020. But you had the regular interview questions, and then we just kind of talked. You know what I mean? And it was a lot of fun, and I would definitely like to do it again, so hopefully we get JP on for this year as soon as he books another fight. But he's been doing a lot of grappling, and his camp is actually doing really well. So, and another one of those guys that I talk to all the time, and like I said, hopefully we'll catch up with him this year. It was a lot of fun, and unfortunately this guy I think was doing homework or some shit because he was doing the school thing. So it was one of the ones that I did solo before he left.
I left it.
Anyways, so yeah, JP, number 3. It was a lot of fun. Go check that one out. And that brings us to number 2 on our interviews for 2019. Who do we got there?
We got our own Anthony Burchak.
A-Train, El Toro, what is up? Now, this was early in the year for us. We had only done a handful of interviews at the time. And look, I'm a Burchak nut hugger. I've been watching this guy, not like a really long time, but his title fight with Ryan Benoit over in MFC before those cocksuckers, screwed him over. Did I say that out loud? Oh, my bad. Those cocksuckers screwed him over.
Yeah. I don't think you said it loud enough.
Oh, I said fuck MFC? My bad. What?
Ooh.
What? What?
Pew pew, shots fired.
Yeah, shots fired for sure. But I saw that fight and I was just like, wow. I was really impressed with both guys. Okay, and eventually they both made their way to the UFC. And now Burchak, he's fought for LFA, he's fought for Ryzen, he fought for Combate not too long ago. I think his injury with his groin after his last win over at Combate, I think he's pretty much healed up, so he might be making a return to the cage in 2020. But look, this was an interview where I'm just like, all right, cool, man, thanks for the time. I don't want to keep you too long. And he's like, nah, man, fuck that. I'm going to give you guys a good fucking interview. And he did. He went into some fucking, some real struggles, some real highs, some real lows. This interview was all over the place, and there was multiple times where I'm just like, dude, thanks for your time. He's like, no, fuck that. I mean, he just stayed on with us for as long as basically he wanted. And then when he was just like, all right, I'm fucking done. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks for your time. It was a lot of fun, so go scope that out. That definitely, it was a real, the top three, it was hard for me to decide because all of these were fun. But Burchak deserves number 2. He deserves to be number 2 on this list because that was a very fun interview.
It was.
I've listened to it many a times. Especially when he's like, nah, fuck that. I'm like, oh, okay, all right. You do you, man, you do you. All right, and then number 1, drum roll.
Rafian Stotts.
Super! He just made his Bellator debut at Bellator 236, I believe, or Bellator Hawaii.
Yeah.
And he won via unanimous decision. Dude looked cool as a cucumber in there. I've never seen somebody so calm, especially with all the submission attempts that his opponent was trying to pull off. He gets the decision win there. We talked to him just before that, okay? And this guy is probably one of the funniest motherfuckers I've ever had the opportunity of interviewing. This interview was a blast. He gave us time when we really didn't deserve it, okay? And I think I don't know if we had to reschedule this one due to scheduling conflicts with him.
Because I think we were supposed to interview him while we were in Vegas getting ready for the PFL.
Ah, that's right.
And then a bunch of stuff ended up happening, and we had to reschedule for when we got back.
Now I remember, okay? And you know what? I will tell you this, a lot of the scheduling, since I book all the interviews, sometimes they just fall through because I know one for sure, my family was sick, and so I told the guy, I'm just like, hey, I know I said we'd do an interview, but my fucking kids and my wife are all sick, I gotta go and take care of them. So, and sometimes these interviews just don't happen. But Rafian Stotts gave us a great interview. Probably one of the last ones we did of the year, or at least one of the last ones because you were part of that one.
Yeah, I was part of that one.
Well, I was saying you were part of that one. That wasn't a question. I was saying you were part of that shit. Don't you ever fucking.
I was part of that shit.
Yeah, don't you ever fucking second guess me. I wasn't asking a goddamn question. Goddamn.
I thought you were.
You fucking white belt.
Stop yelling.
Anyway. So, Stotts, number 1 on the list, and for good reason. He kept it light, he kept it funny, he kept it informative, and he also opened up about, the prospect of retirement because nobody wanted to fight him, so it was hard for him to get to that next level. Because the guy's a very skilled wrestler, he's a fucking stud, hands down, and he's just a horrible matchup for a lot of people in the bantamweight division. So, luckily for everybody in the whole wide world, he decided not to retire and got his shot at Bellator and won in his debut. So that's numero uno. We love that shit. I got lots of other top 5s that we'll be throwing out there. I just want to say thank you to everyone who supported HeadKick Audio. anybody who subscribes to our YouTube, who visits our Podbean site, our Twitter, our Instagram. All those tags will be, in here somewhere. Seriously, you guys make this fun. You guys make this worth doing. I mean, even if nobody's watching, I'd probably still do it. I'd look like an asshole, but I'd still do it. because it was a lot of fun. So, and we're looking at the prospect of the white belt returning 2021 to the show full time. So he's got to get some things in order at home, which is his current home base is still Sierra Vista.
Yeah.
And he's just trying to keep his head above water, literally.
Literally.
Okay, but we really do have some big things coming up in 2020. Why don't you go ahead and let everybody know what you got coming up?
Starting, I guess, what would it be? I guess Monday, January 6th. I'm going to start doing my my video game stuff. I'll be on Twitch. You can find me as Chaotic Davis Gaming. I've changed the name like 3 or 4 times, only because I'm horrible at picking names, and I think that one suits me the best, because my gamer tag is Chaotic JGD, last name Davis, and I'm gaming, so I kind of figured throw all that in there. It kind of made sense.
What else you got?
I'm going to be starting my bachelor degree program in cybersecurity. That'll start sometime in March. I forgot what the date is, but I got a little bit of time to kind of get everything situated in order. Got to make sure my house doesn't fall apart.
Literally.
And gonna be hanging out with this guy as much as I can. Like, I would really like to be a part of it as much as I can, but yeah, just I gotta be able to live up here. Once I live up here, oh my god, dude, oh my god, it's so crazy. Also, start going back to work. I'm still a bus driver for right now. I love it though. Kids make it worthwhile. Every time I'm like, man, I gotta hang this up. Like, I'm done driving. Like, some of these kids. I mean, I drive the special needs kids, and sometimes it's like, man, I don't want to deal with these guys anymore. But but then like, something happens and it kind of makes you go, well, I kind of am making a difference. Like, even though like, they don't know what's going on, they're raised with having good manners. They're raised with being respectful and stuff like that, and you can't find that in a lot of people. And I'm just blessed with what I'm able to do. And yeah, I think that's about it of what I've got going on.
Okay, well, what I've got going on.
What you got going on?
I've got the prospects of a bazooka. Okay, I've got the prospects of a ton. Okay, I've got the prospects of bringing back many of the guests that we had last year. LFA's coming back to Arizona, Phoenix, in March. Okay, PFL, we're going to be covering that this year as well, 2020. When they come to Vegas, we'll be doing that shit. And Rough, they've got a very busy schedule this year. They're starting in February, so we're going to hit as many of those events as possible. And then, of course, the interviews will continue as per usual. LFA is going to start up their schedule, I think, like the 17th. It's a couple weeks into this month. So we'll definitely ramp up with interviews there. But I think the white belt, of course he'd miss something, right? Because he's a fucking white belt. So we got the band back together.
Oh, okay. Yeah. How could I forget that? How could I forget that?
We got our old band back together, and we're actually going on tour from January 24th to the 26th. We're touring with the Dead of Winter Fest. It's a festival we're traveling all around the state of Arizona, and most of the proceeds go to schools, instruments and stuff. Like getting the kids, new violins or new drums or whatever. You know what I mean? So it's
trying to keep music in the schools.
Yeah, there you go. Keeping the music in the schools. So it's a benefit tour. I doubt we're gonna make anything off of it, but that's not why we're doing it. We're doing it literally for what it is.
Mm.
And the promoter needed a badass band, so we just we go ahead and stepped up.
That's right.
So, but yeah, again, I want to thank all of you guys for tuning in. Just continue showing your support, and I'll continue to appreciate it and bring you the best show possible for 2020. So until next time. Oh shit.
Hey, do we 808 it? Wait.
There you go.